If you're looking for a few pro tips on the most important things to teach your puppy, you're in the right place. Now, I've got 20 years of experience to share with you. We might be here all day. No, don't worry, I'm gonna actually make it short and sweet. Michelle here with How to Train a Dream Dog. Now, there are so many skills you could teach your puppy. It's not likely that you need to teach them thousands of cues and behaviors. You may not want to. After all, you're probably raising a family companion who's going to be your best friend and coexist nicely in your home. There are some basic skills that will make your life just a little bit easier. Here's my top 10 things I believe all pet owners should teach their dogs. Number 1, name. Now, dogs don't actually speak the same language we do, but because humans are so verbal, it's really going to be a great idea to teach your dog to look at you when you call his name. Now, this is going to be a great game for when you first start out training with your puppy because it's really easy for them to learn. You can use their name to get them to come running towards you, or when you need them to tune in and avoid a distraction. Now, when I call my dog's name, I'm actually looking for a head turn in my direction. Okay, next up on the list, number 2, crate and pen confidence. Resting and relaxing quietly in the crate or the pen is really a critical skill, and I suggest you start on this with your puppy right away. Now, the crate can be used in many situations throughout your dog's life, including medical appointments, surgery recovery, travel, grooming, and for emergencies like an evacuation. Now, these situations are already stressful enough for your puppy, so making it comfortable in the crate is definitely going to help you and your pup. Now, when you're away from the house, it's also the safest place to have your dog, in a crate. So he or she can rest and relax and await your return without getting into something that they shouldn't. Teaching your pup to actually be confident in the crate while you step away from the crate or the pen is going to help prevent separation anxiety, which is much harder behavior to address if it gets too serious. Start on crate and pen confidence right away by making crate and pen time positive and work up to adding more distractions and distance and duration in while you practice. Now, for more information on crate training, check out this amazing video here. Now, if you're struggling and you need some extra guidance, I can help you as part of our pro-level online course that we offer, 30 Days to Puppy Perfection. The link to the course or any other resources I mentioned can be found in the description below this video. Now, I can learn more about your specific situation and coach you for the best results when you work with us at that pro level. All right, number 3, potty outside. Now, you'd actually be surprised at the number of people who want to use pee pads inside. Sure, they seem like a convenient option. After all, who wants to go out in the rain 8 times a day for a potty break? Well, I suggest you head out into that rain, and here's why. Using pee pads, even for just a few potty breaks each day, usually results in a lifetime of habits of going potty in the house. Now, that's not going to make you a very popular guest when you go visit a friend, or you stay at a hotel, or you send your pup to a pet sitter when you go on vacation. Now, more info on the downsides of pee pads can also be found in this video. And check out my free new puppy starter kit for the best way to teach your puppy to go potty outside and signal to you when they need to go. Spoiler alert, there's a bell training lesson in there. All right, number 4 on the list, sit. I actually like to encourage my students to teach their puppy to sit as one of the first skills. I usually start with this skill because it's the easiest and it comes most naturally to most puppies. And after all, puppy is usually pretty small, and when he looks up at you, his butt naturally falls to the floor. Ta-da! You're gonna have a sit. So you're gonna wanna mark that behavior enthusiastically with a yes, and reward with a small treat, and then you're gonna be well on your way to teaching the sit cue. Training doesn't have to be hard or frustrating, and if you've got the right game plan, or coach, that's me, you can get this done pretty quick. Number 5, the come cue. So recall or come on cue is a really important skill, but it's one of the hardest to teach. For one, we don't want to use the word come until we know 100% of the time how to actually use it and that we know we're going to get the results we're looking for. Now, if you use it before you're ready, you might muddy up the word and it's going to lose its meaning. Most people say things like, come here, come on, let's go, without even realizing it. And if your pup doesn't follow along, or you find yourself repeating these phrases without getting the results, you're now teaching your pup that come cue doesn't actually mean anything. Don't be too hard on yourself. If you've done this, it's pretty common. but it's also something you can fix by selecting a new recall word. There are actually quite a few games in the course that I suggest you work on or practice first before you actually get to that come cue. All the games in the course are really built on each other, and that's why I always tell my students to go in order. Teaching the puppy to come when called actually requires consistency, practice, high rewards, and a developmental maturity to overcome all those other desires that they might see, like chasing a squirrel or stopping to sniff the grass. Now, after all, you're trying to convince the pup that no matter what he's curious about, it's far better to come running to you. That's a tall order. All right, one last comment on the recall skill. Now, if you have a new puppy and it seems like he's gotten the hang of this already right away, I hate to break it to you, but as your puppy grows and his curiosity and his confidence increases, you're going to likely see this behavior change. Puppies are naturally compliant when they're young, but as they age, it gets a little less, unless you're working on training. Now, this is one of those skills you don't ever want to actually stop practicing. All right, you ready for my next basic skill I think your dog should know? All right, before I actually get to the next 5 things that you can teach your puppy, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you never miss when another lesson like this one goes live. All right, number 6, walking without pulling. Those of you with big dogs are nodding right about now, am I right? Being able to take your dog for a nice jaunt in the neighborhood without being dragged around is really important. Many factors can contribute to dogs pulling while they're out on a leash. Maybe they have pent-up energy, or they're overstimulated, or there are too many distractions. Maybe they haven't been reinforced correctly, or maybe the positive reinforcement you're using is not of a high enough value for them. A loose leash neighborhood walk is actually made up of multiple skills, all paired together. And we actually start with foundation leash skills in module 1 of that 30 Day to Puppy Perfection course. We actually work with low-level distractions when we first start out and gradually add in distractions as training sessions progress. And for this reason, several other skills need to be done first before a leash walk can be considered. While working on leash skills, I actually suggest using a decompression walk for exercise and enrichment. This is going to allow your pup to get out a lot of that pent-up energy without all the expectations and overstimulation that usually comes with that neighborhood walk. Now, you can actually learn more about decompression walks in this video here. This topic is actually much bigger and broader than I can address in this particular video, so be sure to check out that online course for all the other games, including leash skills. All right, the next skill is number 7, greeting guests. Michelle, how do I teach my pup to stop jumping on our guests? This is a really common question, and I often have been hired to work through this with frustrated puppy owners. Unfortunately, it's not as simple as teaching no jump. I want you to actually teach your dog what you want him to do instead. Should he sit at your feet when guests come in? Maybe you want him to go to his crate and wait for you to release him. It's really up to you, but whatever you do, you have to teach one thing and be consistent with it. Door manners are so important for the safety of our dog. Open doors and excited dogs often lead to dogs who run out the door and down the street. So door manners are important for the comfort of your guests as well. One of my current students taught her dog to sit at her side and wait until the guest arrived, and then go say hi with a gentle nose bump on the guest's hands. This satisfied the dog's urge to greet those new people, but it also honored the guest's preference not to be jumped on. And her guests were pretty impressed. I can actually help you with this too if you'd like. You can choose that pro level that we talked about, and we can work on that during a Zoom call or even my private Facebook group for students. All right, the next thing I suggest you teach your dog is number 8, when he's done well, right? You always want to communicate with the dog when he's done what you want. So you need to choose a word to let him know that he did a great job. And then you're going to pair it with treats at first to load it up. This is called a marker word. Mine is yes. Some pet owners use a clicker, but there's really nothing inherently positive about the actual clicker itself. It becomes positive after associating it with food, but that's the critical first step. Now, I don't usually recommend the clicker for casual family pets. It's quite a bit more work for the human because of the consistency and the timing of the click that needs to be 100% accurate. It can get tricky for new puppy owners trying to manage an excited puppy while on a leash and pairing it with the right behavior and then delivering a treat. With one hand on the leash and the other with a treat in the hand, adding a clicker in would be great for that next level. but not right out of the gate for new puppy owners. Treats are pretty universal, though. They're a great way to teach the dog your yes means good things. Now you can check out this video here for treat recommendations. Now I have 2 more skills that I think are really important to teach your canine companion. All right, number 9. Drop it and leave it. Now, these 2 skills, which are actually taught separately because they are used in different contexts, are critical skills for safety. But, like the come skill, it involves a lot of practice and high value rewards. And of course, this includes practicing outside of the time that you need it. Now, one of my students has a dog who absolutely loves to shred Kleenex and run away with the fabric softener sheets too. With practice and consistency and rewarding at the right time, that silly pup is now dropping those items willingly. Yours can too. It took time and training to get there, but you can do it too. I can help you, just like I helped that student. Also, if you want to access that online program where we teach you how to train your dog and where we cover all of these 10 tips, plus a ton more, go ahead and click that link to our 30-Day to Puppy Perfection program. Link is below. All right, number 10, socialization and exposure. I've actually saved the best for last. Socialization isn't just with other dogs. It's with new people and sights and sounds and smells too. It's very important that you take your pup to new places on a regular basis, especially when he's in that critical socialization window of about 8 to 16 weeks. So hanging out in your car in a parking lot, watching people can actually be great positive exposure. Now we don't want all exposure to new things to involve interactions, which could potentially be overwhelming and scary to any young pup. Now after he's been comfortable watching all the people, you can actually start to get a little bit closer so we can smell those interesting things. Take it slow. Watch his body language. Make sure he's content with the pace that you're going at. And if your vet tells you that your puppy is not allowed to go outside until they're fully vaccinated, I highly recommend that you find a new vet. Proper and positive socialization and exposure has lasting impacts for the rest of your dog's life. Now, the consequences of under-socializing your puppy far outweigh the risks of safely getting out and about before they're fully vaccinated. Just keep it positive. You don't need to use stress to teach a puppy. Use positive experiences to build confidence. Here's a video that is going to be very helpful on this topic, all about socialization and exposure training. Did that seem like a lot of info for this video? I know it did. But if you just take it step by step, enjoy the process of training your dog, you're going to build an amazing bond and a relationship that lasts a lifetime. Did you notice anything missing from the list? Maybe you were expecting to see some sort of skill like play dead, or speak, or roll over, or high five. Well, I actually call these party tricks. They are totally fun to show off at a party, but they don't really play a role in the day-to-day life with your dog. Now, it's great if you want to teach these games to your puppy, but foundational skills should come first. When your dog is confused, he's going to default to one of those stronger skills. So focus on teaching the behavior you want to see more of at first. Save the party tricks for that second round of training. If you like this video and you're ready to get started on all these fun skills, then check out my online course. It's packed with over 50 videos with easy to understand training games and a bonus section that could be pretty much a course all in itself. Now, my students love those extra topics like helping your dog overcome scary things, or understanding canine communication and body language, and how to interpret a happy, healthy play date with another dog. All right, click that link below to find out more. In the comments below, tell me the first thing your puppy learned.